of people are not good with their money.
No. Unfortunately, that is the case.
That's why Dave Ramsey's been successful.
Successful.
Yeah, I just made that word up. It's being successful at sex.
Successful?
Yeah,
Or
you go.
successful?
Dave Ramsey, the Riz God.
Yeah.
He's out here.
Is it successful? Is that the word we're coining?
Successful sounds better.
Sexful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Successful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sexful.
You just throw it in there. I'm successful.
Yeah.
Like, do you have a list?
Did you just
What? What does that mean? Successful at sex.
You heard what I said.
I'm 3 for 3.
Did I stutter?
Oh man.
Start introducing myself. Hi, I'm Lucas. I'm successful.
Hey, welcome back to Screen Time. I'm your host, Josh, and I have with me co-hosts Jered.
It's a long night. Even the dead gets bored.
Nice, yeah. And we got Jered, Claudia.
Mucho gusto.
And then Lucas is back. He hasn't been with us for a while.
I know you didn't stay in town for the weather.
Oh wow.
Nice.
I didn't realize we were doing direct quotes from the TV show.
I mean, we do whatever.
Yeah, you don't have to. It's not a
I know.
requirement.
I'm gonna be prepared next time. Don't
All
you
right.
worry.
All right.
All right.
Don't steal my
It's not
line.
as good as the first episode one because that was.
No, she's awake.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, so today we are talking about True Detective Season 4, Night Country Part 2. But before we do that, a little bit of things we've been watching. Jered? What do you
Not
got
really.
with?
Not really.
Nothing.
I have one,
All right,
and
one.
I have not finished it.
Okay.
Is Oppenheimer because
Oh.
it's 3 hours long, and
Nice.
I just haven't finished it yet.
Yeah,
But
on my list to watch, but I
Yeah.
haven't watched it yet either.
I'm halfway through it. I mean, it's just an amazing spectacle in like every way. Like it makes sense why it's now. How many awards is it nominated for now already? I don't know. I just saw something about it. It's several. So, but
Yeah.
anyway, it's well
Yeah.
deserved for that movie.
Oscar list came out this week.
Mm-hmm. I saw. Yeah. So
For
anyway,
nominations.
it's definitely that good. So everyone check it out. Now you can watch it.
Mhm.
It was in theaters forever. That's it though. I don't
I think
really.
it still is actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Are they still doing the IMAX thing?
Well, I think
For
even Warehouse has it.
Oh, really?
I saw them
Oh,
post
okay.
like we have 2 nominated films still, and it was like that and Godzilla. No, it was what's the one with Jeffrey Wright in it?
Oh, American Fiction.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah, they were
okay.
still we're still showing 2 Oscar nominated.
Okay,
No.
that's cool.
And it was those 2. Yeah. So I started Echo, watched the first episode of Echo.
Oh,
Yeah, it was kind of said it was very little messy.
yes.
That's the best way to put it. Disjointed.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, only watched 1 episode so far, so I don't know if did you get further?
That's
Yeah.
all I watched
Yeah.
too. But yeah, it's a mess.
Also got first 2 episodes of Death and Details. Watched that. Have not watched the 3rd one, even though that came out last
Mhm.
night, 2 nights ago. That's a good start. I like it. Yeah, like it's if you like that kind of thing, murder mystery type, it's done well. So far.
The way I was talking about the intro of it, I thought was cool. How they did the different things with the perspective.
Yes,
That was cool. I don't know if they do that. Do they do that in every episode?
Yeah. So you're talking about where they're like also as they're kind of remembering things and they change what they thought and yeah, just like the same scene but like stuff's moved different.
Yep.
Yeah. They continue to do that. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It's a good effect because it's kind of like really showing how people's memory and perception is different and that's part of the solving of the thing is the understanding that everybody doesn't remember things exactly how they were or.
True.
So let's go. And then watched a little movie called No Time to Die.
Here we go. I've been waiting to hear because Josh finally watched this movie.
So first of all, it's not as bad as you guys are making it.
I knew you would say that.
It's not that bad.
Claudia's eyes just rolled so much. For the audio listeners.
Yes, you can't hear the roll, but
Yeah, you can't. You
You can
almost could.
probably hear the roll.
Yeah, you could hear it.
To
Yeah.
be honest with you.
Yeah, but I mean, I do like let's see, like I do like that it was a continuation of the story. They
Yeah.
kind of pick up. I do like they introduced the bad guy a little bit earlier because that was one of the things that kind of I think was lacking in Skyfall and Spectre was like the bad guys you really don't get to know as well because you don't even meet them till like halfway through the movie.
Mhm.
So I do like that. It had some good a few good action scenes and stuff. But also, well, I mentioned this on the other pod, but it was because I definitely didn't care for the Hans Zimmer score nearly as much as the Thomas Newman stuff in the two movies prior.
Mhm.
Just really stood out and was like too much.
Which I feel like Hans Zimmer was elsewhere, and that's probably why, because Hans Zimmer is still one of the best. So
yeah, and everyone has like an off, right?
maybe he didn't like the movie that much either.
Maybe. But then, yes, there's the stuff with and this is spoilers for a movie that's been out for a couple of years. So, the stuff with them replacing him, like and putting a different person with his title, the 007 stuff.
A woman.
Yeah.
Specifically.
Well, the woman, yeah, a woman, yes. What did you say?
I said specifically.
Yeah, well, it's not even if it was a man, like still like replacing him that
Yeah,
quickly.
but it's just worse
yeah.
because it's a woman. And I can say that as a woman. You can fight me.
Yeah,
I don't care.
yeah.
007's a man.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, well, and Cece was saying the same thing the other week when, so she, and she's a black woman.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so that was like, why is this funny? Why is that funny? And
Holding that one in, so I can feel it.
but then also then having the child.
Yes.
Yes, didn't like that.
Yep.
And of course, and then she's like, lying to him the whole time, but it's like obviously it's his, but like she's, so that, and then him dying at the end, supposedly, whatever.
Very stupid
I'm like,
way
I
too.
was like, it's just dumb. Like it was just dumb. So those things, yeah.
The only good part about that movie was Ana de Armas.
Oh, she was great.
That was the only good scene.
She was great.
Because she was like
excellent.
a classic Bond girl.
She was.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
the song is great.
yes, the song is great. Yes.
I have a little bone to pick about that though too. And I love Billie Eilish, don't get me wrong. But you can sing No Time to Die with the track of Writing on the Wall perfectly. I mean, you can. Try it. It feels a little ripped off, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
And Jered and I fight about this all the
I
time.
don't agree.
He doesn't agree. It's the same song.
Does she write it?
I don't
That
know.
part? Because like so a lot of times I know because the two
Hans Zimmer co-wrote it, I know.
Yeah,
but I
because
don't know who
the
else was
two
involved.
before that, I didn't look up this one because we didn't cover it for screen time. But the two before that, like it was like there was also a person that actually wrote the song, and then there was the singer that
Yes.
did the.
It just sounds like the same song
But
to me.
but yeah, and that might be even if it is, but the other it might not even be her fault. Is what I'm saying.
Okay,
because she
yeah.
might have just been
Okay.
like, oh, you got to
So
lay
if
down
you
the
didn't
track.
write it, that's fine. I just don't like that it sounds so similar to the last one. And it's a very James Bond song. I love that it sounds like a very James Bond
Yeah, it
song.
does.
I just don't like that you could literally sing the song to both tracks. And it would work out fine. That's how similar they are.
I
But
mean,
that's my only
that
bone
might
to
be.
pick with this song.
But
Also, not enough women in the opening scene with the music.
That was
They
a
took
big
that out.
part of it too. Yeah.
you talking about the title sequence?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
title sequence.
Yeah,
it
it
didn't
doesn't
feel
have
like a Bond.
Didn't have.
They don't have like
yeah.
the nude women
Nope.
the silhouettes.
dancing, the
They took
silhouettes
that
and
out.
stuff. And that's such a James Bond thing
Yes.
to do.
Yeah.
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 I just don't. I guess I just don't understand being offended by that as a woman. Women are beautiful, beautiful bodies.
Yeah.
That's on purpose.
Yeah.
Right.
And who cares is what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, yes. Well, that was like one of my, I know you weren't on there, but one of my gripes with both Skyfall and Spectre was there was not enough, even like the classic like women that he interacts with
Mm-hmm.
and
In the
like,
movie,
in
yeah.
the movie,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that was like where they definitely had that more in Casino Royale and it's been so long since I've seen.
I don't know about Quantum of Solace, yeah.
but
Yeah, some of the best Bond moments are literally just him interacting with people outside of the mission,
yeah.
Yeah.
specifically the women.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Lots to learn.
Now, maybe not like the old stuff where it feels a little non-consensual. Okay, I get that. Yeah, that's
Well,
not okay.
But it was also of the
But-
time.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was of the time.
yeah.
But we don't have to cut that out.
Yes.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
And
As long as it's time
I
accurate.
will say, though, it was nice to have, speaking of Jeffrey Wright back as for his role there in the last one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice
He's
to see
good.
him because I always liked him.
Yeah.
He's playing.
What's his name in the movie?
Well, I'm enjoying Felix Leiter,
Felix. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's good.
which is a classic, the CIA agent that works with James Bond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was always good, but like he wasn't in Skyfall or Spectre. So
Mm.
Also, again, I've only watched it once, but I feel like Rami Malek as the bad guy was
yeah, I agree.
just okay.
Yeah, I agree.
He's great, in Mr. Robot. So I know
Yeah.
he's a good actor, but I didn't think he was that good in this.
Mm.
Yeah. Yep. So
Okay.
Well, that's also because we got your expectations so low that we were like, actually, Josh might like it a little bit.
Yeah, because we really
We went
just.
in sky high.
I took my muddy shoes and drug it across that movie before you watched it. So
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
it does help to like
Yeah.
bring, and
Have
also
the bar
the
low.
time, right? Like there's been a lot more time pass since. And you guys, if you went and saw it in the theater and you were all hyped, like,
Yes.
new Bond movie theater coming off of Skyfall and Spectre, and you're like, yeah.
I was already pretty skeptical because there were rumors about a female 00.
Mm.
And I was already
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
kind of red flags in my brain going in to see it. But I wasn't like not excited to see it. It's a James Bond movie. So just really disappointing. Really disappointing.
That's why I didn't go watch it in theaters because of those rumors.
I understand.
And then the confirmation
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
Also, the frames she's wearing, the sunglasses, it's like a slap in the face. They're like,
Really?
who cares? The brand is like, I don't know, LaFont or something dumb like that. Put her in something better.
Le Fonte.
Yeah. I can't remember. I remember looking it up and I was like, so?
Yeah.
Put her in something better. They were
Well,
really cool
But
looking.
but he's still wearing Tom
He's got
Ford
Tom
or
Fords.
Purcell.
I was about to
Yeah,
ask.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I
he
don't
has
know.
Tom Ford's. Hers, they're very cool frame,
Yeah, I remember them
but
being
the
cool.
brand
but
is like,
yeah, why not?
she's
I'm
got
sure-
money. Why are you putting her in this?
Yeah.
I did like the opening scene with when what's her name is younger, and then like the kind of the guy, and you're like, oh, he's coming for her dad, but like he wasn't there, and like all that opening scene was cool.
I'm trying to
Oh,
remember
yeah.
it because it's.
Okay.
I know I haven't seen it since we were in the theaters.
And then she
when
ends
did-
up
what
under the
year?
ice because she's running from him, but he actually
Oh,
saves
right.
her life.
Yeah, I remember that.
What year did it come out?
2021.
I was going to say it has to be around the 2020s.
Wow. Yeah.
Where
Okay.
everything was
So it's
just
been
crap.
that long. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was supposed to come out in 2020.
It
but then
was,
it got pushed into 2021.
The year of our Lord.
Yep.
But yeah, so that's all I got for when I'm watching. What have you been watching, Claudia?
I just need to touch on something with Big Love, the show I'm watching, and Lucas doesn't know, so I'm going to catch you up. Big Love is a show about
It's not a
polygamy.
reality show.
it's not a reality show. It's a
Actual
show
It's a drama.
that
Yeah.
was made about a Mormon polygamist family.
Yeah. It was
Okay.
on HBO.
And it's just the dynamic of a husband that has 3 wives that have 3 houses, and they're all connected, but keeping it a secret from the world because it's illegal to be in a polygamist, marriage sort of thing, or really in the eyes of society, because the guy's like, he's a pretty big face in the community. And if people found out, it would just be like, he'd be shunned and not make money and, whatever. Canceled, I guess.
Which also like I said, like I sent you guys because afterwards I was like curious and I looked to Google it, and it is illegal in some states to be married and then sleep with someone else.
Yeah.
But in some states it's not. But then it's like, but then as long as you're not married, then you can be in a polyamorous relationship,
Right.
and that's not illegal.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
How
like
are they going to
weird-
regulate that if you're
so
not
it's-
married?
So it's so weird. Like,
Yeah,
it's
it is
it's
a
such
weird- yeah. But anyway,
yeah.
Drama that comes with it, and
Yes.
it's I'm just eating it up because it's drama. And
Are you almost done the first season?
yes,
I think so. Yeah.
But I just want to touch on a specific instance that's happening right now on the show. One of the wives, Nikki, has been racking up credit card debt without telling anybody.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one of the wives finds out.
Ooh.
And the wife that finds out is like, this is, you've got to tell, blah, blah, blah. I can't believe you would do this to our family, And I'm not going to tell you how much debt she's in yet. Okay. But she's like, no, I'll tell him. I don't want him to leave me and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, he would never do that. You just need to be honest, She's like, I just don't know how. So let me just walk you through her breaking it to her husband. They're having sex. Okay. Guy finishes. Hey, I'm $58,000 in credit card debt. That's how she breaks it to him. Okay. I don't know if you know about post-nut clarity, Josh, but this is the worst time to tell a man you have $58,000 in credit card debt.
Yeah, been better like
right before.
about
You do
60
even
seconds.
then,
you should've done it.
60 seconds
Even then,
before
I know.
that.
In the
no,
middle.
but I mean,
It's
it's like that comedian. We're gonna discuss this after I finish.
Yeah,
It's gonna be received better if you're naked before everything finishes. Anyway,
Yeah.
so it's like, the guy gets up out of bed. I can't believe you, blah blah blah. And he leaves and walks away, and I'm just like,
Not smart.
of all the times to tell this man,
Yeah.
and she's just acting like it's fine. It's we just need to talk about it. It's okay. It's okay. We need to talk about it. 58 grand.
That's a lot.
Credit
This was
cards.
in 2005.
Yes. Yes.
It's
so it
set
ought to
in
be
2005.
$100,000 in credit card debt, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a student loan.
Yes. So,
Yeah, that's 4 years at room and board at
Yeah.
a non-state college.
Mm-hmm.
and to
Wow.
make matters worse, they're all maxed out, all 9 of her credit cards. And her father is beefing with her husband, and she's been calling her father to pay off the debt and telling her father that he knows about it. So now he's even more upset because he doesn't like her father, and he's been paying, on her credit cards, and it's like a whole thing right now.
All this drama with the Mormons.
I know.
Well,
She's like, I don't know. I just have a problem. I can't stop,
but so ever since you talked about it, it's definitely been like, yeah, I definitely want to watch it. Check it
Oh,
out.
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I
I
said
have a
before,
feeling it was something I would probably enjoy.
it
is.
is entertaining, but it is at times cheesy too. But it's
Yeah,
like
that's all right.
the time that
Yeah.
it was made in.
Yeah.
He
It's
likes,
still
He
HBO,
likes
but-
the high school dramas, so he's okay with cheesy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. You
That's
do
true.
like
You'll
the high
love
school
it.
drama.
Josh is
Yeah.
going to love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just crazy.
Can't wait.
Because it's just, yeah.
Can't wait for more
And
Riverdale or
then you
something.
can thank your lucky stars that you only have one wife, after watching
Well,
it.
yeah.
You're like,
That-
my gosh,
Ooh.
I don't know how this guy does it. How could he do it?
That's yeah, you just sit, anybody that's thinking about doing, then you just stick them down and like, you just watch
Yeah.
this. You
Yeah.
tie them to a chair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
You don't need to watch the show to know that that's not a good idea.
Some people.
Can you imagine
some
having
people.
3 of me running around? Ooh.
Don't answer that, Jered.
It's a trap.
I'm not saying anything.
It's a trap. Don't answer.
It's a trap.
I mean, I agree, but I'd be interested in the challenge.
I
knew
believe that.
Lucas would say
I
that.
100% believe that.
Yeah, I just would.
Challenge
Interested in the
accepted.
challenge.
They swap. They like
Coming
trade.
from the guy that's not married.
Yeah.
Oh.
They trade nights. So like one wife gets
Schedule
him
the
one
nights,
night,
yeah.
then the next wife has the next night. And this guy has to bang each one every day, which may be like, oh, that sounds awesome,
No.
But no, it's not.
You can wait.
It's exhausting. And he's exhausted because it's like, hey, 2 of the wives have 2 kids. One wife has 3 kids. So he's got kids with each
Well,
one, and they're all,
And then, like, very early on, like we talked about last time, then he's just popping a ton of
Viagra
Viagra.
because he can't keep up.
Yeah.
He can't do it.
Again, they can wait.
Yeah. Yeah. And right now, one wants to have a baby. So anytime she's ovulating, every wife has to drop everything and let him go over there and plant his seed.
And would they ever figure out about, he was talking about a 4th wife? What happened
No,
with
that was just a rumor
No.
that
okay.
one of the wives, Nikki, because she's drama. I mean, she's like the worst one out of
Yeah.
all 3 of them. She's crazy. She's
Yeah,
insane.
she is crazy.
She's like, I think he's bringing in a 4th
I
one.
feel like this would work as a reality show.
No,
Yeah.
100%. I
It
would love
would.
to see this as a reality
I'll
show.
be the guy.
Volunteer, Lucas.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm just curious.
Yeah.
I say, yeah, they did it in Bible times.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we
They
mentioned
did.
that too
And
last
much
time. Yeah.
more than 3.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying. Give me the challenge.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm watching, and it's juicy. I just love watching it.
Awesome. Well, let's get into
Does Lucas have
True
anything? Oh, no, you don't have anything.
No, you don't have anything.
He said he
That's
didn't have
right.
anything.
Okay.
I'm dry. Haven't watched anything.
Anime Corner will return.
I'll find
Maybe.
something for next week.
All right.
All right.
Something.
Yeah, so let's talk a little about True Detective Night Country Part 2. The second one, also written and directed by Issa Lopez. Our little synopsis. While Connolly threatens to transfer the scientists to Anchorage, Navarro and Danvers make a discovery that brings the former colleagues closer together.
Barely.
Barely.
All right. So just what do you guys think of this episode?
Yeah, go to
Well, and Lucas, yeah, you have
Both
2 episodes to
episodes,
talk
yeah.
about, yeah.
I don't know if this show's my thing.
Okay.
To start, just to start it off.
Okay.
Overall, between the 2 episodes, I can't get past half of the acting. It just it feels like the story could be there, but it's not being carried correctly. I feel like there's a lot of good lore that's
Mhm.
happening. Like I can sense that,
Oh, yeah.
and I can tell it's written well, but there's just poor execution on just the actor's part. Like it's one of those things where everything is so well done that when the actors don't deliver, it's terrible.
So which
which
actors are all? Are you saying?
Most.
Okay.
Or
Or which ones, or it might be easier, which ones do you think are not, or that are delivering a decent performance versus?
I don't know any of their names.
The girl with the dimples,
Yeah, she's not,
piercings.
yeah,
She's awful.
yeah.
She's
I agree.
terrible.
You can tell she's a new actress.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
she is. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was a boxer.
Yeah.
before,
Yeah.
No, she is terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Our main character, she's fantastic. She's fantastic in everything.
Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster.
I
yes,
mean-
Jodie
Of course.
Foster.
It's
And
hard to keep up with Jodie Foster.
Yeah. So then, when it's just them two, oh my gosh, the scene's horrible.
You can feel it.
It's like,
yeah, the difference.
But the young, what's his name?
Peter is
Yeah,
his
the younger
character name, the
detective.
other
Yes.
detective?
Yes. He's done doing a
I
bad
think
job.
he's good,
doing
yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah.
But in general, that's kind of it.
Mm.
Okay.
I feel like everyone else is kind of just, yeah.
What about her? I think her name's Rose.
She's all right.
Yeah.
I think she's good.
She's not on the worse end. But again, I don't know if I understand this type of show yet.
Yeah.
I've never watched anything like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just know she was.
Also, I'm able to call everything out before it's happening. So I don't know how I feel about that.
I'll just say she was good in Andor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's where I was thinking her.
Yes.
Oh, right. Okay.
But I mean, it was because I hadn't finished the last 15 minutes of the first episode, and I was watching it with Claudia, and it was they were inspecting the bodies or whatever. Spoilers for episode 1, and I was like, they're not even close to being dead. There's still warmth in their body, and then 15 seconds later, it moved.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty trippy, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. It was.
Yeah.
No, because I knew it was coming. Those, I don't know. It was just, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, what did you
Yeah,
think
that's
of
my
the
overall
second
feelings and thoughts about the first 2 episodes.
I think this episode is better than the first episode. It is. They actually are doing a lot of detecting in this episode, which is good.
Mhm.
I mean, I understand that the first episode's a lot of setup.
Yeah.
And since it's 6 episodes, are we doing 2 episodes per act? It kind of seems that way, right?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah.
About, probably.
Yeah, this is
but-
just the first getting things
It's still set
even
up,
though
but it
it's
does.
so set up, but it's getting
way
into the
more,
nitty gritty
yeah.
of the
Mhm.
actual thing that they're investigating.
Yeah. And I, as the True Detective season 1 fanboy here, I was excited to see some stuff. So
All right.
I'll talk about that more later too. So yeah.
What'd you think of this episode?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree that it was better, and
Mhm.
you know, things are unraveling a little bit more, which is exciting. I do agree about. I feel like the bad acting showed more in this episode than the first one, especially with the boxer chick. I forget her name. There were moments I was like,
Navarro.
Yeah, Navarro.
Yeah.
yeah, where I'd just be like, oh, and then well, I'll talk about that later, but I still like it a lot,
Yeah,
and I'm
me too.
excited, to see how this ends, because I just love shows like this where you're just like, what the heck is happening, sort of thing.
You see, that's the feeling I'm getting from the way the show is made. I still don't feel like I'm getting that, like, oh, what's going on? Like, I feel like it's like
Okay.
pretty obvious.
Okay. Well,
So-
when we get to speculation,
interesting.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah, see what you got.
Yeah.
See what
Cool.
you got. Cool. Yeah. I mean, I kind of agree. Like in general, like with what you guys are saying. Yeah, I think this is better because it's just getting into things more. And in general, still finding the overall story and intriguing and just like where it's going to go. But yeah, so
Yeah.
Let's get into it. So opening scene, they're clearing off the frozen bodies. Yeah. We get a lot of like so interesting. So I've tried to remember the order exactly, but like we've got the guy breaks one of the arms. Then the guys are all goofing off and like taking
Selfies with a
the
carcass? Are you freaking kidding me?
They're not carcasses.
Okay.
None of them are dead.
Well,
Well,
Well, not.
technically, what? All but two of them are dead,
Mm-hmm. But
but you don't know that at the time. You think they're
Yeah.
all dead.
True.
true.
And then they find
Well, they're all dead.
we find the clothes. We find the clothes all folded up neatly in the frozen stuff, like their clothes, and they have bite marks and craziness going on to all these corpses.
I like the explanation. I guess it was a little later though when he was explaining why that might be.
Yeah, that was
How
good.
like your body can get to such a state where they were
Yeah.
hot and
Yeah.
just took off their clothes.
Yeah, hypothermia. Yeah,
Yeah, whether that actually happened or not, but
right.
yeah, because we still don't
was
know.
it
But then when they're talking,
paradoxical?
Yeah, they call it paradoxical.
paradoxical hypothermia.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
but then
It's a
when they
real
were
thing.
talking about the
Mhm.
questions, like later when it was, I don't remember either of their names, but Jodie Foster and Peter, is that what you said?
Yeah, his character.
His character. When they were going, and she was like, "Oh, ask the right question, and she was like, "But then it doesn't make sense why they folded their clothes neatly." Backing off the folded clothes, and then
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, well, then why would?
Yeah, well, then
It's like,
because that takes him to the next, and then there was like, well, then there's a killer,
yeah,
which is where he goes to the next question. Because I was
Mhm.
like, she's like, which
but I feel like it takes him so long to get there. You know, like I feel like it took him way too long to get to that point.
He's new.
No, she also hadn't gotten there fully yet.
Mm.
Like not until the room. Like I feel like I would have gotten that on the scene of the crime.
Okay. Well, I read it more like she was there, just she was letting him get there. So
Maybe.
but yeah.
I think so because as he kind of worked through it, like she seemed kind of proud of him and like and encouraging him, like okay, like ask the right questions, and then yeah, when he kind of got there, then you could tell she was like proud of him for that and like getting him, I guess, to where she already was because I think she already was there.
Yeah, that's what I
No, I agree. She was already there. I don't think she was there on the scene of the crime though.
No, not at the very beginning, I
Right.
guess.
Right.
No.
But like I feel like sitting there and you see the clothes and
What-
then
I think there's a difference. So what you're saying, and this is, I'm just trying to think the difference is like it's not that she didn't have a hunch,
oh yeah,
but she's wanting to like not assume something until she's seen the facts that prove it.
I mean,
Right. So she's like, let me collect all the data and then assess it and where it leads
it's fair.
instead of making assumptions on the scene of the crime. I think that's like her, how she approaches it, which is
Yeah, she doesn't double check her assumptions. She just starts collecting the facts, and then she goes through all the potential possibilities,
which is
based off of concrete fact instead of
or making sure you have all the information before you start making assumptions too.
There could also be some hesitation because of how she's involved with this previous case they keep bringing up.
Which we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
Right,
about
yeah,
that.
We don't know what happened there and why they don't want to work together anymore. Well, she doesn't want to work with the Navarro anymore.
Mm-hmm.
what do they call them, the ship bowl cases.
Yeah.
Or whatever. That's what she calls it. It's her ship bowl.
I have. Oh, by the way, that quote when she said that, and then she said right after that, she said, "No answers, bunch of angry people," and I'm like, is that a nod to the audience that we're just not going to get any answers and people are going to be mad? Which would be funny if that happened, but
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think.
Okay.
I think. Well, I don't know if that. I feel like if that was the case, then it wouldn't be getting reviewed so well by critics that get to see the whole.
They did see all of it.
The critics that I
came
know
out all 6.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know. Sometimes with screeners, it's like only half or
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure, but
That's why I am keen to see what's going on, because like I'm interested in the show because everyone's talking about how good this in general is. Because I haven't seen season 1, season 2, season 3, none of them.
me neither.
I've never seen a show like this, so I'm very keen to see what is going to come of it. But I'm just not impressed yet.
Okay. That's fair.
I am wondering how it's going to be once it's done. How it'll measure up compared to the other seasons. Yeah, because it's been a minute.
So also on the bodies, there in the open scene, they find the spiral on the forehead of one of the dudes.
Yeah, there's a lot of spirals in this.
Yes, there's a lot of
There
spirals.
was a
There's a
ton.
lot of spirals.
Including the really terribly drawn one in the snow.
Dude, that was what I was
Which
going
was
to talk
not
about.
a spiral.
She takes the stick out and goes like this, and I'm like, okay, what's that supposed to
She's
be?
like,
Yeah.
and she's like, oh, I've seen that.
Yeah, that was the part.
I've seen
this is where I was like, okay, I hate the acting in the show because it was like I've seen this before, and you're like, seen what? Snow?
What am I looking at here?
You know what though? What I did like about that scene is after she did draw that, it was really weird the way she drew it though.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
She brushed it away very quickly. Like she thinks it's bad that it's even.
Yeah,
there
that's
at
bad
all.
juju.
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I do like what she
Witchcraft.
says. Like it's older than
Older than the ice, probably.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And you're like, okay.
Older
But
than
again-
this.
How'd you know what she drew?
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't great.
Any real like situation to be like,
They'd be like, hang on, can you
they'd like
try
squint
again?
and look at it and be like, what is it? Yeah.
But it was immediate.
Locked in. She's locked in.
So then we get the scene with the back at the precinct, right? And we have a new character that's from Anchorage, and
So typical.
he's like, "Hey, we just need to move this. We'll take it over." And she's like, "No." And of course, she gets out the book, and
That was such a great scene.
yeah,
It was.
it was good. And then basically, he's like, "How are you gonna thaw it out?" So enters visiting the ice
It
rink.
was a good loophole she figured out too. She's like 48 hours.
Mhm.
You know, like
Yeah.
so.
Gives her 2
That was
days.
good
Yeah.
on her part.
So then she takes it to the ice rink, and this is the first interaction of like, it's like the lady's like hates her because like she's like slept with her ex-husband or something, and
She's been getting
Before or
around.
after the divorce?
yeah, and
Yeah.
it's like
They don't really answer that.
They don't
no one knows,
answer it.
no one knows.
So we know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, so then she, I guess, confiscates the rink then from there and on after that, and they move the bodies there to let them to thaw out. And just a crazy idea.
I have a question for Claudia. Well, they talk about the bodies were like their ears are bleeding, but they said the corneas are burnt too. What would cause that?
The freezing cold.
It's just that.
It's like freezer
Okay.
burn on like meat in the
Oh, okay.
fridge. It
I didn't know if it
will
would be something
totally
particular.
burn your skin for sure. I'm sure like when you get like cold burns, it's the same for your eyes.
Okay.
Except your eyes are definitely way more susceptible to it than
Okay.
your skin.
There's also the call where I guess so the guy that screamed is in a hospital in Anchorage and in a coma because she wants to talk to him and she can't because he's in a induced coma.
And now he doesn't have an arm.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And then she goes to visit a science teacher, and she kicks out all the kids of the class. And then turns out she was banging this guy too at some
She's
point.
been getting around.
She's been moving.
Yeah, but that was interesting because then we at least learn what the scientists were doing there.
Mhm.
And I love that he assumes that she's there to have sex with him at the school. He's like, no, I'm at work. This is my work.
Yeah.
She's like, chill out.
She's like, this is not a booty call.
No.
Not this time.
Not this.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was a funny, good way to learn the details of what they were doing, but then also like more about her character, Danvers' character.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which we learn even more about later.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
do.
So then she's back at the rink, I think, and she's there. Peter's been there, and well, he finds the phone and one of their phones and uses their face to unlock the phone.
Yeah.
So then we get to see the TikTok video he was making earlier in episode 1, but we get to see the video. And of course, we get the creepy effect from that guy, and then it cuts out like electronic, just, like it wasn't like the person hit stop on the recording. It was like,
Yeah.
so that was interesting.
That was.
I like that Danvers coined the term corpsicle. That was good.
Yes.
Yep.
I like that.
Yep.
Corpsicle. And then they start working. That's when you were talking about, and then she's like, he starts to go through the questions, trying to figure out.
Yeah.
He's like polar bear, and she's like, well, but this, and then he's like going, and I do like that. It's like that technique. It made me think of. Did you ever the what's the question behind the question? That's a book.
Oh
The
yeah.
QBQ.
Yeah.
Did you read that book?
Not the whole thing.
Yeah,
No.
but yeah, it just made me think of that. Like it was when she was doing that. It was
Well-
like, what's the question?
Well, yeah, but then she wasn't like answering and like discrediting his question. She was like asking a question to his question to be like, oh wait, there's another question,
Yeah.
and she did that 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, to get him to
until-
like think
yeah.
deeper and follow it more, and yeah. Yeah, so we have that, and then we they go to talk to the cleaning people and the delivery guy that was bringing the Funyuns, right?
This was all cut really well too. This
Yeah,
section.
back and
It
forth.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they were cutting back and forth,
Mhm.
both of them interviewing them separately. But so the cleaning ladies are just like, whatever. They're like, spiral. Have
They
you seen
don't-
this demonic spiral thing?
Mhm.
No, they know.
Hey. Yeah. But the other guy, the delivery guy, mentions like there was someone there and then not, right? And then he's like, well, no. And he's like, well, was there someone there or not? And then he's like, well, it's Ennis, like,
Mhm.
whatever.
You see people that aren't
Yeah,
there.
yeah, all the time. So he mentioned that, and then he also mentions that the Clark guy was always a little crazy,
Mhm.
He's
He's, like,
Naked.
naked, and he mentions he has the spiral tattoo
Mhm. On his
Yep.
chest.
on his chest.
Mhm. The dead get bored sometimes.
Mhm.
That's
it
right.
says. Yeah.
So yeah, so in the meantime, we had Navarro. I forget her name.
Mhm.
Navarro is in a bar, asking around.
Convicts
Yeah,
for a booty
and
call.
well,
Everybody got a booty
Oh,
call in
yeah.
this town.
yeah,
What else
That
is there
guy.
to do? It's dark outside.
all
Yeah.
the women
Freezing.
have booty calls.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She's asking around, and then she's talking to a guy. He says, "Oh yeah, my cousin sold him an RV."
Mhm.
And so then she's like, all right. So then she starts doing she's hanging out with her booty call, and she starts doing the question. What's the real question, or the question behind the question? And she's like, because she's trying to put herself in, what would Danvers do? And
Mhm.
which, it's kind of interesting, because like you can tell she would still work with her, almost looks at her as a role model.
Mhm.
Yet obviously Danvers is like, yeah, I don't want to deal with you.
Mhm.
So she finally realizes where they might hidden an RV, and so then she's driving. Well, I can't remember when she was driving, but she's driving and she gets that flashback of like with the cross and her mom that she finds in the
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Sorry,
right.
In the
there was
car.
like, I don't know. I mean, other than just it's just a random other flashback thing.
She did hit something in the road though
Yeah.
Yeah.
while she was driving.
Yeah,
Something got run over
Like-
there.
like a roadkill or something.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I couldn't tell what
Could
it was.
be roadkill. What kind of roadkill?
Yeah.
This is the flashback where her mom's like
Mm-hmm.
having a
Yes.
something's happening to her. Yeah. Okay.
Demonic possession
Yeah.
episode.
Okay.
Yeah. So she. Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember the word when that happened, but anyway. So then she goes and finds this RV, and of course, she calls Danvers. In the meantime, Danvers confirms that the tattoo and was
Mm-hmm.
and talks to the tattoo artist and like where and she's like, oh yeah, he had a picture with him and she sends her. I always take a picture, and then the picture is like him with
Annie.
with the girl Annie,
Mhm.
yeah, and with their matching tattoos basically,
Mhm.
yeah, and so then you're like, oh, so then they all end up at this RV, and Danvers and Navarro are together there, checking it out, and dude, if that thing was not creepy.
Brueria.
A lot of stuff from season 1 in this trailer.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
with including the spiral on the ceiling.
Yeah,
the
but on
bed.
that, so Claudia, you remember the little fixtures that they would find everywhere?
Like hanging?
Yes.
Yes.
That was in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the stuff that was written on the wall. I'm trying to remember. There was one image in particular besides the spiral that was on the ceiling. There was something on the wall too. And then they mentioned about different types of bones from animals
Mm-hmm.
that they found in there too. And those would always be around the victims that were placed, like the one they found at the very beginning in season 1,
Yeah.
around.
Uh-huh.
Or on the woman, like when the woman had the antlers
yeah,
on her.
the antlers.
So there's a lot of that in there, but there's two other things that are even bigger that I'll come back to. That has some connections that are exciting.
Right, it was one thing I forgot when Navarro visits Rose later.
That's
and
the
they're
scene I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, and she's talking about like when, and she's like, "Well, when did you start seeing her dead husband?"
Mm-hmm.
That pointed
Travis,
to Travis, yeah, that's his name. And she's
the
like,
interpretive dance guy.
"Yes." And she's like, "Well, or when did you start seeing dead people?" And then she's like, "Just when Travis passed." And then, and of course, she says about how that came about and stuff. But she's like, "But some people are born with it."
Mm-hmm.
Up here in NS.
So she says at one point, when she's talking about Travis, she says his last name, which is Cole.
Okay.
And Matthew McConaughey's character in season 1 is Rust Cole.
Okay.
And he said that he grew up in Alaska. So I believe this person
Ooh.
is Rust's dad, which is
Oh
a
my
crazy connection. And you think
goodness.
about the long hair and the way he looks similar to how he
Yeah.
looks
Wow.
at the end of like in the later time in season 1.
Very
So
cool.
I don't know how they're going to tie that together, but
Or if it is, or
it's-
even
or
if
if it's
it's
just a
any
nod.
more than that.
Yeah, it could just be a nod.
could be that.
But yeah, and then the only other thing is what's the younger detective, Peter?
Yep.
He mentions when he was looking into the Solal, is that the name of the research center? Yeah.
Sounds right.
They're funded by a company called Tuttle Corporation, which is the corporation in season 1 that basically is associated with the whole cult in season 1, which has to do with the spiral and Carcosa and the Yellow King and all that is mentioned a lot in that too.
Okay.
So that's another little reference again.
I mean, I feel like
to
at
get
this
those
point we should
references.
probably be seeing season 1 to get the full.
Well, no, that's the thing though, is like they're adding more in because there barely was anything in the first episode. And I don't think they're going to connect it because none of the seasons, the only thing that's in the other seasons is with 2 and 3 is like, I think there's one spot where they see a spiral, but they have not connected anything with season 1 until now this heavily. And again, it could just be nods. Like, I don't know if they're going to actually do anything with it, but it's just cool that they are acknowledging it.
Like
So-
kind of a thing where like everything is in the same world
Yeah.
and in the same realm, but not necessarily like dependent on each other.
Hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, and then I wonder, I mean, like with what Rose was saying, it's older than like that symbol. So like it might just be something that, in season 1, it was, whatever, it was a cult, is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but like they might have just adopted this thing that already was like existed before them, right?
Right.
So then this might be like the deeper whatever is behind that spiral versus, I don't know. Anyway, so I think it covers, well, so 2 things, right? So then there's there's the scene then when she bangs the like police off the captain from Anchorage.
Yeah.
And then like
They've been doing that for a very long time.
He didn't even remember.
19 years.
And she's like, no longer, because it was like something about
Said
like
15 years.
Yeah,
It's like
or-
19.
yeah.
Wow.
He's like, wait, but I was still, and you were still.
Yes.
And she was like, we were on a break.
Yeah.
One
Well,
of them.
one of them.
One of them anyway.
I know. So-
Mm,
Booty call.
Yeah.
yeah.
and then he still tries to get her to move it to Anchorage or something, and
That's
she
a
just
really
gets,
long friends with benefits period.
Yeah.
I gotta say.
and she just
That's
leaves.
Crazy.
And all these guys, dude, every single one of them. Well, are you coming back?
Oh, I know.
Wait, you want to move here?
Well,
Oh,
even better, the
Nah.
Peter's dad, the other captain, and him.
Oh,
Bro.
dude, he
See where
is.
he's texting the mail order bride.
Clearly getting catfish
Yes.
and
Yeah.
sending money
And
to
sending
this
money.
person.
And then slapping his son
Yeah.
Yes.
for using the money for something.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes. And
So the Indian guy in wherever can't get his $40.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Whatever it is.
So I do like, though, because Peter was talking about, he's like, to Danvers' daughter or adopted daughter. He says something about how he's like, talking about how like, yeah, he slapped me, but then he said his dad was raised by a monster, however he put it.
Mhm.
And I like how when we see Peter with his kid and his
He's
girl,
breaking
like,
the cycle.
yes,
Mhm.
yeah.
yeah. So it was a good seeing that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why he's so upset about having to not be able to go home.
Yep. Yeah, and she's keeping him out.
Keeping it up.
Mhm.
But so then we end the episode with the bodies are thawed and one's missing.
Mm-hmm.
And
Two's missing.
Oh, that's right.
I thought it was 2.
Well, there's the guy that they took out because he's alive in the coma, but then Clark is
I
missing.
swear they said there was 2 missing.
So there,
Or were they maybe they were referring to one being Clark.
so
Or
there,
not
Well,
There's eight-
Clark is the
yeah,
one that's got
Clark,
the spiral
yeah.
tattoo.
Yeah.
there's 8 scientists
the other guy.
total, and then in the ice was 6,
Okay.
and then so now it'd be 5.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. So there are 2 missing.
Yeah, because he would be the I think. Now I'm
I feel like to me,
There's definitely 8 total when they first like at the actual research place, and then I don't remember how many were originally in the ice that they found.
well, I mean, I think they assumed they were all there.
They
And then-
didn't know until the ice was melting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Beginning.
So they were like, okay, so they were just saying 2 are missing.
Yeah.
But Clark was there, right? Or Clark was.
no,
No, Clark,
Clark's-
once the ice thawed,
Okay,
and,
so
like
that
there
was
was
what they
no
were saying?
room for any more bodies
Alright.
to be in there. Clark is gone. Yeah.
and he's the one that had the tattoo, and it's like he's
Mhm.
not
Yeah.
The
there.
one
Okay.
with Annie,
Mhm.
connected to Annie.
But there were 2 missing because
Yeah.
the one guy's missing. Yes, there's 5 there. Okay, so I'm on the right page.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yep.
You're confusing me a little bit.
I think that's right.
So yeah, so Clark is still
I wanted
At
to,
large.
out and
yeah.
about.
I wanted to ask Claudia about the first episode because they clearly show, because she even picks up the book of Blood Meridian. Do you think there's any ties to that now that you're reading that book to this season? Because that was a clear nod to it.
I'm not far enough into Blood Meridian to have an opinion
Okay.
on it. I would be really sad if it didn't, because it's not like it was just some passing book.
I know.
It was intentional.
Yes.
So as soon as I find something as I'm reading it that
Alright,
ties
cool.
in, I will definitely be sharing,
Cool.
because I am reading it right now. Very interesting read, for sure.
One of the best authors ever.
Very unique writing style.
Cormac McCarthy.
You have to get used to it.
Okay. Yeah. I don't have anything else.
I think that's all I had.
Yeah. I don't ever look ahead. They always put out like a little teaser trailer
Yeah.
for the next episode. I didn't look at that, so I don't know.
Yeah. So what do we? Anybody else? I mean, anything else? So
Well,
just
I know
speculation?
Lucas was. When were we gonna let him speculate now? Because he had
Well, I was
ideas
saying
for.
That's what you're saying. I just like. I was just gonna say again. It's like throughout the episode. Like I feel like what's happening next. I already know what's happening next. For ultimate speculation, there's no way to speculate anything yet. There's no real information. I mean, it's a detective show for a reason. They gotta go find out more information over and over and over again. So there's not really anything to speculate. But like as the episode's going through, and like you like, as they receive a piece of information, and then they have to do their whole thing to figure out the information, and like figure out where that ties in. Like I feel like I connected the dot as soon as I saw the information. That's the part that I'm referring to.
Okay.
Well, what do you think is next then? You said you know where they're going next in the next episode.
But he was saying that no. What he was talking about was when he said he. I mean, what he just said was like when he said that he meant as things are happening in the episode, he's
Right.
like knowing where it's going before
Okay.
it gets
Like-
there.
Take this episode for example. They got the beginning.
Yeah.
They get information. I connected all the dots that they figured out halfway through the episode when they got the
Okay, gotcha.
information. Like I feel like that's
Okay.
most of it, not everything. I mean,
Yeah.
but most of it. I mean, and like immediately when I saw the sigil the first time,
Mm-hmm.
the tattoo, I knew it was witchcraft of some kind. Now, is it actually witchcraft? I don't know, but there's a lot of witchcraft in that RV. So, and that was at the beginning, and it's the end of this
A
episode.
lot of voodoo dolls.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's witchcraft though.
Okay,
It might
well,
not be.
based off of my
Voodoo dolls are witchcraft, if that's what they are. Hanging.
based off
Yeah, that's something different than the actual little
tattoo
things that they
sigil.
call that they made out of like sticks that I was mentioning that was in the
Mhm.
trailer from the first season.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, you're right. There were dolls in there
There's
too.
a
Oh,
ton
there
of,
was a ton of them.
ton of
So,
voodoo
yeah,
dolls
yeah.
hanging out everywhere.
Yeah.
And a life-size one on the bed.
Yes, there
Yes.
was a real voodoo doll.
Yeah,
Mhm.
true.
Anyways, yeah. So,
Well, then who? So what do we think?
oh, and then there was like and you notice, and then there was like the one scene. Where it literally, it showed a black crow, but right before it, it showed the
The ram's head.
ram's head.
Okay.
Mm.
And you're like, I don't know. I don't really know if I want to watch the show just for theology purposes.
Okay. All right.
But
That's fair.
I will carry out the next 2 episodes because I've already confirmed that I'm hosting. So
Yeah.
We'll just plead the blood of Jesus over everybody before we watch it.
Yeah.
So I guess do we think Clark's the one? I don't think Clark's the one that did all this.
No, that's too obvious.
Absolutely
That's
not.
too obvious. So where do we think he's at?
He's either on the run from something. He's still researching because there's, like they care that much about whatever they're researching.
Right, because
Or he's some sort of hostage.
There was a guy talking about how normally they cycle through people so they don't go crazy because in the isolation, and yet those guys have all been there for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Hostage is an interesting theory because if somebody knew about him and Annie and like was doing this maybe to I don't know, keeping him.
What's the question? The right question.
Well,
No, but I was gonna say like,
why would he be a hostage? But like,
what if he knows something about Annie's death
Mm-hmm.
and they found out he knew, and then
Fair.
Yeah.
there's that, and then there's also the potential connection of witchcraft. If they were being tested on or something, they found something, he got infected with something. He could be draining blood. There could be a million
There's so
different
many
things with
things.
possibilities when you put witchcraft into the scenario.
Mm-hmm.
right, but then
Burn them.
right. But I'm saying back to what I was saying though. But I guess if he just had information that they just kill him and then he
Mhm.
wouldn't. So
Yep.
so then why would they not
They
kill
need
him?
him alive,
Yeah, why
or
they need him
he's just
alive?
elsewhere, or like there's
Yeah.
That's why it's a detective show.
Oh, I know.
They gotta learn things.
But
They
you
gotta
know,
find new things out.
They are a true detective.
In fact,
Yeah.
It is a very accurate, true detective show.
How funny it'd be if it was Truth Detective. How bad that is. That's all you would have to change for it to just be a very bad
Facts
title.
detective.
On God Detective.
Oh
No
my
cap
god. No cap detective. Zero caps
No cap
detected.
detection.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh boy.
These are all the spinoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah. When they make the Gen Z version of the
Yeah.
show.
Detective, no cap.
Dead ass detective. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, I don't have any other speculation.
No. Definitely, like I said, it's definitely intrigued. Ready to watch the next one.
I will say though, like either way, like I'm cool with what they do in the show, whether these ties are just nods, like that's cool. Because I know the from the little interview I listened to of Issa Lopez, like yeah, she was already a fan of the show, so I'm sure she
fan of
did.
the show, and then she was like,
Did she say something else? About it?
well, one I was listening to, it was interesting because she was talking about like I was fan of the show. I was studying the show, and then I was like, what was this show? And then she went back and watched Seven.
Oh yeah.
And then she went, and then when she's like, what was Seven inspired by? And then she watched, and now I'm drawing a blank what it was. But she like, it was like, went back.
Vertigo?
I don't remember.
I feel like it was Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah, I feel like it was too. Anyway, but I thought that was
I don't know.
interesting. Like, the kind of.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's a big inspiration. But,
Also, I just wanted to say they film all this in Iceland. It's not in actually Alaska.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Found that interesting.
Well,
I'd
so
much
what we're
rather
saying
be in
is,
Iceland anyway
yeah,
versus Alaska.
Mainly the reason was in Alaska, there's not the crew and infrastructure to actually do a high level production. Where Iceland,
true,
Iceland there
sure.
is, and they're really where they're filming the little town they filmed that they use for Ennis, Alaska, is like less than an hour away from like a decent sized city.
Oh,
So
okay.
like everyone's sleeping and living in the city, and then going to work,
Yeah.
outside of the city.
So what I was saying
But
is,
sorry, I was just saying.
Yeah.
I think the reason I was gonna say I think a lot of Game of Thrones stuff was filmed in
I
Iceland
think
too.
it was, yeah.
So I think that's already probably why there's some infrastructure, film crew,
Fair.
and stuff there.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah.
Anyway, what were you gonna say?
So, well, yeah, this season just, I'm cool with it, whether they like go either way with it, whether these are all just nods or if they really actually do tie it into season one. And if they do, then just have to watch that because it's one of the best, I would say, miniseries of all time.
Yeah, it's been on my list for years.
Yeah.
because I know people have said it was good for a long time. I just never watched it.
Yeah.
So, but I gotta get Big Love first.
Oh, you got 5 seasons of that.
Yeah. You better buckle up.
And they're like 13
Hunker down.
episode seasons.
Wow, that long one.
I think
I don't think it's that
10. It's
much.
I don't know.
I'd say probably 10. I can't remember.
Well, any last thoughts? Part 2?
No.
No? All right. What were your thoughts on part 2? Leave us a comment. Send us an email. feedback@screentimepod.com. Let us know what your thoughts were. And if you like this, please like and subscribe
Yes.
on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen or watch things. And if you'd like, you can follow any of us on Instagram. I'm at JYoungbar. Who's going on?
I'm at Jered Youngbar. I don't know.
I don't know. It always used to be me next, but I'm at Lucas Youngbar.
I'm at Claudia Youngbar.
All right. And these three will talk to you next week. I will be gone.
For 2 weeks' time.
Wow. A fortnight, if you will.
That is a fortnight.
It is indeed a fortnight.
All right. See ya.
Bye.